Hello, students. I am Dr. Yasha Tahir from ABES Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today, we will discuss superconductivity nanomaterials. In our previous lectures, we have discussed superconductivity. In current lecture, we will talk about nanomaterials. In this lecture, we will talk about significance of nanoscale. We all are aware of that. Nanoscale lies in the region of 1 nanometer, 100 nanometer. So now when a material has this size, it has a huge advantage. And we have a new technology, nanotechnology. So why do we have this advantage? So we need to know, we can know from this diagram. If we have a bulk material whose size is bigger, so there will be less number of atoms on the surface. Now, if we keep on reducing the size to the nanoscale, then as we can see in this diagram, there are more number of atoms on the surface. So there is more number of atoms who can participate in a reaction. So this will increase the reactivity of a particular nano material in comparison to the bulk material. So this increased activity is due to more number of surface atoms. So this more number of surface atom leads to variation of various properties like optical, thermal, mechanical, electrical, magnetic properties. So surface to volume ratio is very large in nanoparticles. Atoms on surface are more reactive. Hence, large surface area means more number of surface atoms, which makes the material more reactive. So we can prove this theoretically. We all know that if I have a specimen which is spherical in size, its surface area will be 4 pi r square. And for a spherical material, its volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So in this particular, we can come to know that surface to volume ratio is 1 upon r. Rest values are constant. So if we compare bulk and nanoparticle, so bulk has a comparatively higher radius. So its surface to volume ratio will be less. While for nanoparticles, there is more number of atoms on the surface. So its size is less, so its radius is less, so the surface to volume ratio is increased. And so they are more reactive in comparison to the bulk material. Now, the second property which has a significance, or because of which we have the significance at nanoscale, is quantum confinement. So quantum confinement is basically when any one dimension from the 3-dimension, 1, 2, 3-dimension, x, y, z, any one dimension is reduced or is comparable to the Bohr radius, which is 0.5 angstrom. So it is known as quantum confinement. So we have 3 types of confinement. If it is 1, we say it is quantum well. If we 2-dimension, the material in the nanoscale, then we say it is quantum wire. If it is in the 3-dimension, then we say it is quantum dot. So confinement leads to variation in the energy levels from continuous to discrete energy levels. So there is a high transition. So when material is so small that it lie in quantum confinement, so the electronic and optical property changes because of this transition from continuous to discrete. So this we can prove with the help of a diagram. Say, for example, this is an energy level diagram for a bulk material. So here we have valence band, here we have valence conduction band. So this is the energy band. Now when we have discrete energy levels, so there is a possibility of transition from this level, from lower to bit higher, lower to the highest, or from a bottom to higher level. So with the help of variation of in this energy level, this leads to the variation in the behavior of optical and electronic properties. And hence these characteristics are enhanced. If we reduce the size of the nanoparticle from 1 to 100 nanometer, this will also lead to the increment or decrement of the various energy levels. So their properties will change. Why the property will change? Because of rate of spontaneous and transitions which takes place. Now the properties which have enhancement are basically optical, thermal, mechanical, electrical, and magnetic properties. First, we're going to study about the optical properties. So when light is incident on a material, it can be absorbed or scattered. So by designing the nanoparticle of different sizes, so we are designing a 100 nanometer size, or 50 nanometer, or 1 nanometer, or 0.1 nanometer size, the optical amount of scattering or absorption can be achieved depending upon the size of the material. So this is very crucial thing. This result in different colors for the particles. Very lively example is copper. We all know that copper at bulk level is opaque. It is not a transparent material. But when same copper is reduced to the nano level, this material turns to be transparent. Another lively example, we all know that gold, which is yellow in color, as its size is reduced to 100 nanometer, it appears orange. When further this size is reduced to 50 nanometer, this appears to be green. So for gold, we obtain a remarkable variation from yellow at bulk level to orange color to green color. So why this transition occurs? Because there are different number of energy levels. So when an atom drops from higher to lower level, then a radiation is emitted. So that color the material appears. Now this as transition levels can be changed depending upon the size of the nanoparticle. So the emission can be of different color. Second property which shows remarkable variation is mechanical property. We can found hardness, elasticity, adhesion, friction to be found to be very enhanced in nanoscale. Ductility is high at high temperatures. Again, lubrication is highly improved at nanoscale. Likewise, we can found the properties to vary for electrical properties. Again, electrical conductivity of a material can be reduced at nanoscale. We can even desired amount of conductivity can be achieved for a particular material. As we say, change the size of a material, nanomaterials of desired conductivity can be obtained. Second lively example for electrical properties is silicon. Silicon is basically insulated at bulk level, but this can act as conductor at nanoscale. Structural properties we have already discussed. Surface to volume ratio is very large. So there are more number of atoms on the surface. So the overall material is more reactive. Why the overall material is more reactive? Because it leads to different surface morphology, changes in the crystal structure. Example for the structural properties is platinum. We all know that platinum is inert at bulk level. It turns to be catalyst at the nanoscale. So in a nutshell, if we compare a bulk, a macroscopic element with the nanoparticle element, copper, which is opaque at bulk level, is transparent at nano level. Platinum, inert at macro level, it is catalytic at nano level. Aluminium, which is stable, it is found to be combustible at nanoscale. Gold, apart from showing color, yellow at macroscopic scale, orange to green at nanoscale, it is also solid at macroscopic level, while it is liquid at nanoscale. Silicon insulator at macroscopic level, it changes to conductor at the nanoscale. The second property which leads to significant changes at nanoscale was quantum confinement. On the basis of quantum confinement, we have three categories of nanoparticles: quantum well, quantum wire, and quantum dots. So we can study these three on the basis of comparison with the bulk material. In bulk material, when we study a crystal structure, so there are basically three sides: Ra, Rb, Rc. If these three sides are all greater than the Bohr radius, then our material is termed as bulk material, where Bohr radius is your 0.5 angstrom. Now, if we are anyhow able to reduce any one dimension from these three to the nanoscale, say for example, if we have reduced Ra is comparable to the Bohr radius, while your Rb and Rc are greater than the Bohr radius, then we have quantum well. It is a structure in which one dimension is reduced to the nano range and the other two dimension remains large. Then it is known as quantum well. Examples for quantum well are quantum well lasers. So we have quantum well lasers being fabricated. Second confinement occurs when the two dimensions Ra, Rb are comparable to the Bohr radius, while one dimension is greater than the Bohr radius. So it can be RB-RC or it can be RA-RC. Any two dimension are comparable to the Bohr radius and one is in the bulk state, then it is quantum wire. It is a structure in which two dimensions are reduced to nano range and one dimension remains large. Examples for quantum wires are quantum wire transistors. Quantum dot. So this is an extreme case in which all the three sides, Ra, Rb, Rc, all the three are reduced to the Bohr radius size. All the three are reduced to the nano range. Then quantum dot is formed. Example for quantum dot is nanoparticles. So the references for the current work is taken from certain research links and two famous books for solid state physics by S.O. Pillai and Concept of Modern Physics by Arthur Beisel. Further, these are more references taken for the current work. Thank you so much for watching this lecture on nanomaterials, quantum well wire dot. What is the basic significance of nanoscale? What are the basic properties which get enhanced due to this nanoscale? Thank you so much for patiently watching this video.